inside the convention center. Red Cross volunteers and other volunteers are inside, but we just saw I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 charter buses pull up. This is the first time we've seen some significant movement here outside the convention center, and we know this is involved with KBH because those federal officers just moved from blocking the door and now moving the cones, and we'll see if those charter buses will move in. But earlier today, Governor Greg Abbott saying that he wants more transparency from the federal government and also saying he wants a solution to fixing the surge at the border.
Days after the announcement of undocumented minors being brought to Dallas, there was activity at the convention center. Federal vehicles and officers were in front of the building, and temporary showers and bathrooms were seen at the loading dock.
So far this year, more than 11,000 minors have been apprehended crossing the border into Texas.
Governor Greg Abbott has continually blamed the Biden administration's relaxed immigration policies for the surge and visited Dallas to voice additional concern. The convention center is being converted into an emergency intake facility for the federal government. Customs and Border Patrol says they're seeing the highest increase in immigrants since March of 2019. For up to 90 days, 15 to 17-year-old boys who were detained at the border will be cared for by the federal government and charities. The city of Dallas is not involved in the operation.
What countries have they come from, and what COVID variants have they been exposed to?
Outside the convention center, a few immigration rights activists demonstrated with signs.
If they're coming here in the pursuit of happiness, I think they should be entitled to that. I was like, this country is nothing but a nation of immigrants.
Governor Abbott's concern is with COVID spread and possible human trafficking.
People coming across the border, for one, they're coming through Mexico, which is considered to be one of the hottest hotspots for COVID in the world. But how many of these kids are coming from Brazil? How many are coming from Central America?
The feds say up to 3,000 teen boys could be housed in Dallas, but there have been no additional information from Health and Human Services or FEMA about how many will arrive this week. As the surge continues, the governor is calling on the federal government to allow DPS officers inside these emergency intake sites.
Today, I am directly asking the Biden administration to allow the Texas Department of Public Safety to access this facility across the street at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Center, as well as the other federally run facilities in Texas, to be able to talk to these unaccompanied minors.
And so what we just saw was the federal officers that were blocking the doors here at the convention center. They just moved the cones. Those 4 charter buses lined up, and now they're getting basically a police escort to the back side of KBH. We have a crew on that side as well. I could see inside of those buses, there were younger teenage-looking boys, all wearing masks. There were some adults in the front of the bus from what we could see. Again, one of the officers came over, put his car in front of those 4 charter buses, and then drove them down where you see what you're looking at right now is where the DART train goes under behind the convention center. They went that way. Of course, we have a crew on that side as well, but we counted 4 buses. The buses all looked filled. Everyone on the bus, of course, had masks, which one of the concerns is COVID spread, and if any of these young guys have tested positive for COVID, it's something that Governor Abbott wants to know, and some other officials in Texas. So we're going to continue to stay on this. First time we've seen significant traction here. We know the volunteers are already inside. The contract lasts up to 90 days, ages 15 to 17 years old. They were detained at the border, but we don't know exactly what location they were brought from before coming here. But we've been talking about this 3 days, and now they're here.